Here is a video update of my 6-station, 5-color press. My garage is a fucking mess right now because I've been running tests and building on this thing. There's my original track. It's a fiberglass mesh screen, about like a 25-foot roll or whatever. I had it hooked on there. I don't know what it was. Maybe I didn't have it quite square. It started warping or whatever, but that's okay. I ran all my temperature tests and was able to make my track adjustments using that screen. And now that I got it dialed in, I have aluminum, I believe it is, the metal screen that you buy at Home Depot or whatever. So it served its purpose, and now it's gonna rescreen a couple dirty screens in my house. So it's up and running right now, actually. Here's my drive roller. I think I had it hooked up in my last video. I took shelf liner. It's like the rubber checkered shelf liner that you can get pretty much anywhere. I've seen it several different places, but I got it at Harbor Freight for fairly cheap. My track was 36 inches wide, but I wanted it to be 27 to get the maximum amount in between without touching. It's about 28 inches wide in the middle of the oven. So I cut my screen at 27 inches, and I Gorilla taped both edges. You really probably only had to do one, but I over-engineer things. So as you can see from the red, I do have my heaters going right now because I was just running some temperature tests. Here are my heaters. Here's one to the left with 2 elements in it, and one to the right. I mounted them in there. My sides, it's hard to see because of the light, but my sides are sheet metal. And then on the interior, I lined it, because the top and bottom are wood, so I lined it with this ducting material that you can get at Home Depot. It's a thin foam. The back is adhesive, and the facing side is aluminum sheeting. So it doesn't actually get hot in there, really. As hot as I thought it would. So I just use that kind of, like I said, I over-engineered things, so I used it as a barrier. Actually, through my testing, I was thinking about going with computer fans. I have a bunch of computer fans laying around. I was going to mock those up. But just kind of on a hunch, I used the box fan. I set it in there on low. I got it to right where I needed it, so I just cut the hole out and set it in there nice and snug. It sits in there. You can't even move it. It's damn tight. And I had it on low, and my shirts were coming out. They were hitting about 370 at the maximum in the dead center of the oven. They were coming out still about 320, 330. So I kicked up to medium, and now they're hitting about 340 dead center, coming out same about 320 to 300 to 320 coming out of the oven. There's where I connected, just using high temperature RTV silicone from AutoZone. Hopefully it doesn't warp out too bad. I'm actually thinking still just kind of regulate things, putting a gate in the top and bottom in the back, so there's just a gap for the track and the shirt. And then if that gets too hot, even kicking my box fan up to high, but it is providing maximum airflow. So that's what I needed for water-based ink. So it's running dead on where I need it to. So my freaking screen print, my press is a mess. The bottom has 6 stations. The top has 5 screens, if I can see. I just have these oak strips on for testing. I added, I don't know if it was in my last video, I added a bolt in because the wood had a little bit of wiggle to it, a little bit of give. I added a bolt in the bottom that runs through the 2x4 that the platen sits on, just to keep it nice and sturdy, and then just above that, but below where the arm drops to my off contacts, I added another bolt, which I can loosen and tighten. Just keep it really nice and snug where they come down. There's zero give. Basically, I just tightened it up to where it held the press in place, and then I just backed it off about quarter turn, and it lets the springs bring it right up, but it has no give. 2-inch PVC rollers. I put bolts through, so they're just resting on bolts, but the bolts I epoxied a nylon washer onto them, so the PVC is actually riding on nylon, so there is no threads eating through the PVC. There's nothing fishy going on. Electrical conduit track, I guess I would call it. It was track located in the electrical section of Home Depot. And in the back, I just cut the last 2 ovals out. There's ovals all the way down. I cut the last 2 ovals out and then just added a turnbuckle to tighten the track, add tension, redirect the track if it starts going cattywampus. The track is 10 feet. I cut about 1.5 feet off. So that's about it. It's running right now. Shirts are coming out. I've done temperature tests so far. I ended up kicking the fan up to medium. When it was on low, the dead center of the oven was reaching about 360 to 370 on a shirt, and then coming out 320. So I kicked it up to medium, and now they're hitting about 340 on the shirt, still coming out 320. So I think I'm going to box it in, which will raise the temperature a little bit, kick the fan up to high. Still come out 320, but getting maximum airflow, which for water-based inks is the key element. So here's my video update. I will be going to get my wood for my platens, and I'll be printing off shirts here shortly, so I will be back with another video update. Thanks for watching.